Hey everyone, and welcome back to Learn at Home with Mrs. Jones. Today we are finally getting to publish our personal narratives. I am so excited. Throughout the week we have thought of an idea that we wanted to write about, something that has happened to us. We stretched out our story to think of the first, next, and last parts. We have 3 different parts of our story. We added beautiful illustrations. We thought about what our characters were feeling and what they were saying and thinking. And after we added some details and words to our story, it is time to publish. The first thing we're going to do before we publish our story and make it ready for the whole world to see is we are going to edit our story first. So I'm going to put a picture of our editing checklist, and you will be able to grab this in the description below. So if your parents want to print this out, they can, or after I'm done talking, you can go ahead and pause it with the screen on so you can see what the editing checklist looks like so you can look through your pages to do it. Okay, the first thing everybody needs to look for, it says, do my sentences begin with capital letters? So look through each of your sentences. Every time you see a new sentence, see if it starts with a capital letter. Are there spaces between my words? Make sure that there are spaces in between your words so I can tell the difference between when one word ends and the next one begins. If it's all mumbled together, it'll be harder to read. Do my sentences end with punctuation? So look at the ends of your sentences. There should be a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point at the end of each one. And last, did I reread my writing so it makes sense? This is a very important one. Sometimes we don't really realize that we're missing a word or we forgot to write a different part of our sentence. So reread your whole story and then let's see if it makes sense. Now it's time to publish, but before we do that, we need to do one more thing. We are going to make a cover for our book. This is what mine looks like. All I did was draw a big box in the middle of a blank piece of paper, and down at the bottom I wrote, by Mrs. Jones. So I need to come up with a title for my story, and before I do that, let me walk you through my story one last time. When I reread my story, that helps me think of a title that makes sense. Ready? First we went to the closet and put on our jackets, hats, and mittens because it was cold. I could hear the wind blowing outside my window. Page 1. Next, we walked to the woods next to our house. I could feel my nose start to get red from the cold. Last, Theo and Calvin found a fallen tree and used it like a balance beam. I was thinking, go slowly as they walked. As I was rereading my story, I was thinking to myself, most of this is about our walk in the woods. I think that's a great title for my story, so I'm going to call it Our Walk in the Woods. And for my cover page, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start outlining a big illustration for my story. And I know the 4 people that were in my story. Here we are again. I'm going to draw them with their hats and their mittens. I'll start with my boys, then I'll go to me and Mr. Jones, and I'm going to draw us in front of the woods. After I sketch it out, I will go ahead and color it all in. I will add it to the front of my booklet, and I'm gonna grab a stapler and staple that book. Now my book is published, and I can go ahead and read it to somebody when it's all ready. I hope you enjoyed writing a personal narrative with me this week, and I am so proud of all the work you have done. If you want to go ahead and share your story with me, please email me some pictures at susanjonesteaching@gmail.com or have your parents tag me on Instagram. My handle is @susanjonesteaching so I can see all the great work you've done. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see more activities that you can do at home. Have a great week. Bye.